My question still was, though, as I click through Drive and say, then I go to Documents, and so now Documents is opened, and then when I click back on Drive, I end up with it opening all in new tabs. So is there a more efficient way? I mean, do you need to use the back arrow to go back a page? Because I noticed that was happening without my realizing it, and then it got a little confusing where I was in the process. So, and Classroom opened another tab, so I think it gets a little confusing that way.
It does get a little confusing. If you think about tabs as applications, so if you think about Docs or Slides or Classroom as their own applications that open, it gets a little easier. So if I start thinking about editing this form, if I double-click this, it does open in a new form, in a new tab, and it's almost like as if I were opening an application on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
The nice thing is, because all the changes are saved automatically, instead of trying to use the navigation arrows up here, I can actually just close this tab, and it'll take me right back to the tab that I started from when I opened it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if I create myself a new document, and I call it something like demo, it'll save it, and once it says all changes saved in Drive, I can close this, and it'll take me right back to my Drive. Okay. So it keeps you from having a million tabs open, or at least that's the theory. I often find myself with a million tabs open all at the same time. So the nice thing about having the pin tabs is that it makes it very easy to see which tabs do I not want to have open anymore, because you get something like this. I'm actually not going to fill any of these tabs with anything.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll see when you've got your browser open, you've got a bunch of tabs open. There's my 4 pinned here. I can actually just click here, and it'll slide all the tabs over. So I don't even have to move my mouse. I can keep clicking until all of those tabs go away, and then I'm back to my set of important tabs,
mm-hmm.
which are Gmail, Drive, Calendar, Classroom.
So James, is there a setting in Google Drive where you can say don't open up in a new tab, but instead use the same tab that we've used? Like if you're in Google Drive and you want to open up a document, is there a way to set it so it doesn't open a new tab, instead it stays on the same tab?
Unfortunately, right now, there isn't a way to change that.
Okay.
I think because what they want you to do is to make sure that you don't end up closing your Google Drive tab by accident.
Mm-hmm.
So things do default to opening in a new tab all the time. In your Chrome settings, so this is in the settings of the browser itself, you can tell it on startup where you want it to open. So here I just went into settings, and on startup I want it to open a specific set of pages, and I can say I want you to use current pages. So what I did was I opened the 4 pinned that I want, and then what I've done is I've clicked on use current pages, and I click on OK. Now every single time I open Google Drive, it's going to open these 4 tabs for me. So if I really get things all confused and I've got 100 tabs open all at once and I want to just go back to how things are when I've got them set up properly, I can actually just close that session of Chrome and then open it again, and it'll start off with my 4 preset tabs.